And I thought, I had this sense that God was going to redeem my family, but God said redeemed. He told me the word redeemed. So then I got some flashbacks, like Monday morning, Timothy and Caden, like, dude, Timothy's amazing. He's my brother. I'm super proud of him. But I remember, I was thinking, wow, Timothy, like even with my dad down that path, look, Timothy's making Christian raps for God, and he's doing amazing, right? And then on the ride home with my sisters in the car, I got to hear a little bit of like their stories, and Elizabeth, my sister, she's wanting to go and make disciples, like go out among like around the world and just be a missionary, and then like Rebecca, she's been dancing since she was 4, just dancing for Jesus, and then Evelyn, I saw her grow so much, and it was like God redeemed my family. Like, it's not a redeem. He's already done it. So just thank God for that. Yeah, that's the biggest thing for me.
Okay. So my name's Haven, and and I'm somebody who's like been going gate to gateway for like forever, but there's like some parts of my life that like I don't really share or I don't really talk about much unless it's like with certain people. So it's kind of a big deal for me. But like I felt like in the past I've struggled with like a lot of depression and anxiety, but I was talking to God on like, I think it was Saturday night, and I was like, God, like, this has been amazing. I feel like I've gotten so much of my faith back. Like, I feel like you've just provided such a like spirit in me, and like you've just done so much, like even already, and it had only been 2 nights. And I was like, but God, what if I get back and I still like have those moments where I don't know if I can get out of bed, and those times where like I just feel like nothing's like worth it. And then I was like God, what would I do in that situation? Because I don't know, like I don't want this to like just be over when camp ends. And then I just heard this like really quiet voice in the back of my head, and like it really stuck out to me because all my thoughts are really like loud and rampant. So like it was very clearly from God, and it was like, it said, and I quote, "I left that dark, depressed girl in that room with those demons." And that's just like so powerful, because I was like, oh my gosh, like maybe like I'm finally done with that. And it was just a really big deal because like I don't want that for me. I don't want to go back to that. And I felt like God is just like finally like taking that out of my life, which I'm so grateful for him for doing that. Because yeah. And then another part of camp that I feel like God really did for me was on the last night, which we literally all like had something, I feel like. On Monday, I was like talking to him, and like I just felt like he was like, Haven, like you're going to prophesy one day. And I just felt like he like revealed a spiritual gift of mine, which was like prophesying. And I was very happy about that, because I was like, that's a big deal. Like this is like a really big deal. And then that same night I had like words for multiple people. They were more of like word of knowledge types, but that was also pretty lit because yeah, because it's really cool to just be able to like talk to somebody, and then like you feel like God's talking through you, because that's like definitely like if they need to hear that, that's like super powerful. So yeah, I felt like that was what God did. It was so good, and yeah.
Hello, my name is Scarlett. So for me, going into camp, I was praying to God, and I was like, I really want more opportunities to pray for people, as that's one of my spiritual gifts is intercession. So I was like, I want to grow that. I want to work on that while I'm here at camp, because like that's a perfect opportunity. And so then on the last night, shocker, it was like towards the end of the night when like some people had left and some people were staying back. I stayed back, and then Carlos came up, and he was like I could tell like by what he was saying, he was gonna start like asking people to like talk about the Holy Spirit and like receiving the Holy Spirit. And then me and Isaiah make eye contact across the room. It's like, oh, okay, hello. And so then I look back and he's like, Scarlett, come here. So then I go up to the front, I go to him. And then my voice is a little dead, but it's back. And so then he said, I want you to like help pray for people to receive the Holy Spirit. And you can do it in your prayer language, and you can do it with me and Lucy if you want. And so I was like, well, I prayed for opportunities to pray for people, so like I'm gonna take the opportunity, I'll do it by myself. And so then I was praying for people, like was just laying hands around the room on people, and I was doing it in English at first, and I was like, no, I'm doing this in the Spirit, like straight away. That was like way easier for me. So then I just got to go around the room praying for people in my prayer language to receive the Holy Spirit. And then someone said like, yeah, now we're all gonna partner up and like just find someone to pray with. And so then I got to go around the room just like praying with anyone that didn't have someone to pray with. So that was really cool. And then in one of those prayers, I think I prophesied for the first time. So that was also really cool. So yeah, and that's it.
Hi, my name is Marley. I've never had an interaction with God before I came to camp. And so the last night of camp, as along with everybody, I was just so like moved by the Holy Spirit. And I was talking to Isaiah, and I was saying, Isaiah, can you please just pray for my trauma, because it never leaves my mind, and it just is taking over my life and is messing with my relationship with Jesus. And while he was praying for me, I just started crying and crying because I felt so relieved, and I just felt like I was being free. And then I sat back down, and then Paul was sitting beside me, and he put his hand on my shoulder and was like, can I pray for you? And I was like, of course you can pray for me. And as soon as he said, Jesus is not annoyed with you, I started crying so hard because I felt the Holy Spirit in him. It felt like it was a ghost, but not like one of the haunted house ghosts. And I just felt so loved. And he was just saying, God is not annoyed with you. He is so proud of you. Like, you will find your circle and just not worry about the future and just have like this great time, and you will be fine. And I felt him just talking to me, like not Paul, but God. And then I was so overwhelmed by all these emotions, I went outside. And then I came back in, and Scarlett asked if she could pray for me. And I was like, of course you can pray for me, Scarlett. And the exact same thing happened again. So it was twice in one night for my first ever time. And she was just saying that God has so many gifts for you to use. And I was like, I wonder if I'll go into ministry. And then as soon as I thought that, she was like, you're not going into ministry, but you will spread the light of Jesus to others using your gifts. And I was just so moved. And that night, going to bed, I was just so overwhelmed. And waking up, I was so overwhelmed. And going home, I was so overwhelmed and just moved in the spirit of Jesus. And that high that I was on still is not gone. And I still feel the Spirit moving through me.
Hey guys, so I'm Josephine, and over the past year, I've kind of felt a calling into ministry, but it's been something that's really terrified me and something I've really been wrestling with and struggling with, and as a soon-to-be senior, which is terrifying, I have been kind of having some trouble with, college plans. I thought I had something set and going for me, and then it all just completely flipped on me, and I'm having to make a lot of changes in my plan right now. But Scarlett, actually, on Monday night, came and prayed over me. And in every small group, I had been talking about how just like I'm so terrified to go into ministry, and I'm so like I don't know what the future holds for me anymore. And on the last night, Scarlett just prayed over me that in this year, like in my senior year, I'm gonna receive clarity for my calling. And it's just brought me so much peace and so much just like faith that like I don't have to worry throughout this year anymore, because like I know God is gonna reveal it to me and when it's time. So yeah.
Okay. Hi, I'm Timothy Spain. my voice is still gone. And I've never been much of a person to like go up to on stage, go and like do something like in front of a bunch of people. Like I've never been that guy. I've never done that stuff. I've always been like stage fright, and I've always felt stage fright and everything. And then like at camp, I got like 2 huge opportunities for like, one was hosting SNL with Haven. And then the second one was getting on stage and performing one of my songs with Caden. And like right now and recently, I've just been like not really like afraid at all of like going up on stage or anything. And like God's just really saved me from that, and I'm just like really happy.
Hi, guys. Okay, so I wasn't really planning on coming up here, but I was just going to say, like, my 2 biggest fears in faith is praying out loud and raising my hands during worship. So I, like, all of camp, I was like, those are my 2 steps that I want to take. Those are my 2 steps that I want to take for this camp. And, sorry. Okay, and then for SNL, I got the chance to be the, like, pretty much main character, I guess. And one of the things I had to do was pray out loud. And so that was kind of like nerve-wracking. And Taylor, lovely girl, I was very lucky, and she wrote it out for me because I was gonna get nervous to make it up on spot. And so I was very happy that she did that for me. But I was just like really scared to do that for SNL. And then whenever I got up there, I got really confident for some reason. And I just did it. And so that was one thing. And then, yeah, go Thorn. And then also on Monday night, everybody was just like, it was kind of like a moment where everybody was going around and praying for people and hugging people and all that stuff. And Isaiah said to get into like groups or partners, and I got to get partnered up with Haven and Scarlett. Let's give a cheer for them. And I got to pray over them, and I like also felt super confident in that. And I don't know, because they've both told me stuff that they've gone through, and I just like, that also made me confident in praying over them because I knew what to pray for. And yeah, and then for raising my hands during worship, all of camp, I was like, I can't do this, like I won't be able to do this. And then also on Monday night, we were doing worship, and I was like, God, just please like give me the confidence to raise my hands and like just praise you, because that's like literally what I'm here to do. And then right as I said that, I just raised my hands, and yes, I did start bawling my eyes out, but I got to do it, and I once again felt confident in it. So I'm just very glad that God got to move through me with that.
I'm Elizabeth. And one of the things God did at camp for me was I feel a lot closer to my siblings, even though, like, most of camp, none of us were on the same teams, and we were all, like, scattered around in our own friend groups mostly throughout camp. And then I didn't end that sentence very well. When we were coming home in the car, no, wait. I'm going to talk about Monday night. Everyone's talking about Monday night. That one was the big night when everyone did all the things. I've been a Christian for a long time, but like I took another step in surrendering more fully to God and His plan for me, because a lot of the time I'm ruled by fear and my feelings and just worry about what other people might think. And I'm getting better at not worrying about what other people might think through the power of the Lord. And like when was it Carlos talking on Monday night? Okay. When he said, just stand on the chair and put your hands up, like, I just immediately stood up on the chair and put my arms straight up, like, God, I'm giving in to you. God, you are in control, and I trust that you are good and that you are bigger than anything, and you are the most powerful thing ever. And so I know you will take care of me, and you have good plans for me, and the best plans for me. And so, yeah, like, I've been feeling like God is calling me to go out and live outward and speak His light and be His light to more than just school and family and church. And yeah, in the car I told my siblings that, and I was like, I think God wants me to like travel around the country and around the world and be His light wherever He leads me. And like I don't have my driver's license yet. So that's something, I'm like, God, you want me to go. You're telling me to go now. I don't even have my license yet. What am I supposed to do? But like the surrendering and saying not just, yeah, I'll get to that, but yes, I will take what step you put in front of me now. And so right now that's finishing all the driving hours. And also I was thinking maybe like starting a little like weekday morning outdoor church in our neighborhood with my siblings. And I'm pretty sure there might have been another, oh yes, the other thing I was gonna say, my finger was hurting. I got like an infection or almost an infection on it, and it was hurting at camp. And like the last day of camp, if I was even like bumped it a tiny bit, it was hurting really bad. And my small group leader, Lori, I asked her to pray over it, and we like put some stuff on it, and it was still hurting yesterday too at home. But today, it's like 99% of the way healed.
it's my turn to talk now. But on a more serious note, it's kind of crazy to think that this is going to be my last time to do this. It's kind of weird. So much happened to me at camp. I feel like it's been the most meaningful, from reconnecting with old friends and where's Peter? Peter. And being connected to from a brother with Christ, I guess. That was a weird way to word that. Or I don't know where he is, but some meeting or growing closer with a mentor figure. Oh, he's right there. Mentor figure. And meeting two people that know my family way too much for me to not know them. Kind of weird. But I think the most important thing that happened to me at camp was I've never really been spoken to by God directly, or at least I thought. I think I found out that I fancy myself a great man. If you know, you know. If you don't know and you want to know, you can ask Peter. Peter Shank. Well, actually, any Peter. But I found out that I was a bit prideful and that I'm a bit stubborn, and that's what's keeping me from hearing God. But one thing I did hear from God is I found my mission. Since camp, there's been nothing but the mission. From a young age, I knew I was supposed to go into film, but I didn't know why. It got to the point where there was nothing but going into film. There was no other path for me. And now I really knew what I have to do in film. And I'm not going to say that here because it takes too long. If you want to know, you can find me out there over yonder. I'll tell you. But yeah, that's about it.
So I actually wasn't supposed to come to camp this weekend. My dad was speaking on Monday, Carlos. And my sister's wedding was this week, so I wasn't going to come. But my dad was like, hey, just come with me. And I was like, yeah, you know what? I wanted to see my group of girls. But on Monday night, like the rest of y'all, for me, if you know me for a while, I've had a lot of health issues with my shoulder and my body, and it's been tough. And that is part of the reason why I am close to God, is because of everything that's happened to me. But I've been in this season where more things just keep coming up. Doctors tell me I'm fine. I go back a month later, and I'm not. And it's been really tough. But when my dad was speaking, he was talking about idols. I don't think idols are just people or things we do, but I also think it's feelings. And so I was feeling like no hope, no relief, no joy. And it wasn't because my life wasn't happy. It was because I was putting everything into the bad things and not looking at the good things. What I have, I was looking at what I don't have, you know? And so that was a big struggle for me. And when my dad was speaking, he was talking about idols. God really showed me that I have everything I need in my life. I'm alive, I'm healthy, I have a roof over my head, and that doesn't mean it isn't going to be hard. It doesn't mean our life isn't going to be hard, but that doesn't mean we have to look down upon it. You know, God gave us this life for a reason, and I'm living today for a reason, and we all are. And so for me, it was more looking at the brighter part of things and what God has done and what God continues to give all of us. But it's going to be hard. God showed me that it's going to be a tough battle, but it takes a lot of patience and going back to God, not turning my back, not being like, oh, I just can't talk to God today because I feel like he's not going to give me the answer I want. That's not what we do as Christians. We need to go through it to face it. And I think that's what God showed me. And no matter what, I'm healthy and I'm going to get through this. And for anyone going through something, we're all going to get through it. So, yeah.
My name is Evelyn. I'm Peter and Timothy and Elizabeth and Rebecca's sister. I think everybody in this room knows at least one of them. But I don't remember who exactly it was or when, but someone in my small group said that Satan, a lot of the time, makes you feel like something really bad is about to happen right before something really great happens. And I think it was Saturday or Sunday, but I lost my stuff. I have like this giant bag and this giant water bottle, and somehow I lost it, both of them. And I got like, I had a bunch of stuff in that bag. And I was really worried I wasn't gonna get it back, and I just started worrying about a lot of things. But eventually, somebody found it. I don't remember who it was or where they found it, but I found it. And on Monday night was great for everybody, I think. But I have experienced the love of God before. I've been with God, but never with other people. For a while, I've actually been really lonely. And I have friends and siblings and people I can hang around, but I had never been in the love of God like Monday night with other people before until Monday night, and it was great. It was the best thing I'd ever experienced. Also, shout out to Carlos. He's somewhere over there. Who's next?
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So leading up to going to camp, I was dealing with like a lot of just I was idolizing my phone, and I was averaging like 7 hours. I know, and I also wanted to quit football because I'm not that good, and also I just like it's not fulfilling to me anymore. But so yeah, Monday night when we all had to stand up on those chairs, I was kind of just getting rid of all that stuff, and I kind of just had this vision, and I realized all the stuff that I wanted, that I was like praying for, I didn't get it because I didn't need those things. And God gave me all these and I like saw that I had God gave me all these friends, like these new friends. Like met like a lot of y'all, and like I just had all these new friend groups and all these new people I was hanging out with, and it was really good. And I gave up everything that I didn't really need, and I got everything I really did need. Yeah.
I'm gonna let you fit it. No, okay. Hey, real quick. Yes, you will share your story. If there's anybody like towards the back that you're like, I want to share, and then you stand up, and then it's like somebody's already starting. Come sit on the front, because we do want to hear from you in the back. But yeah, okay. I just want to share that.
Okay, awesome. Hello. Hi. Okay, I'm Violet, if we haven't met. So I have some things on here. I'm not like scrolling TikTok. So going into this weekend, just a little backstory. My parents aren't really believers, and neither is really my brother, so I'm kind of a pillar of faith in my family. And that's always been something that's very nerve-wracking, just like about future plans and things like that. And so on, I think it was Saturday night, not Monday night, shocker. On Saturday night, we were in we were in worship, and I started feeling so much anxiety. And I was like, why do I feel anxiety? We are literally in worship right now. Like, what is going on? Like, why? Like, and I was like, God, why would you do this to me? Like, what is, you know? And I'm like, I shouldn't be condemning God at church camp. But I was. So I was just upset. I was like, what is going on? And I worshiped anyways, and I worshiped just by myself in my chair, and I was like, this is all I got right now, God. This is all I can give to you right now. And after that, I was feeling very guilty about that because I was like, why didn't I feel anything? Why didn't I feel a change in my heart? Why didn't I feel like I didn't have anxiety? Why didn't I feel like free, anything like that? And we were sitting in my small group, and is Lily Martin, is Lily here? I don't know if Lily's not here. Okay. Well, we were in our small group, and I was talking about how I was upset that I didn't feel anything. And Lily said that sometimes when you're in worship, you're not supposed to feel things then, but you feel things later. And that really spoke to me. Like that, I've thought about it like every morning when I wake up. Like I just thought that was so cool. And I feel like it's true. Like, I feel like sometimes when we think of worship, we think of running to the front, and we think of putting our hands up, and we think of, and those are all good things. Those are all amazing things. But I think sometimes, like, as somebody who sometimes doesn't feel things during worship, it's like you can feel like, what's wrong with me? Like, why don't I feel anything? But sometimes it's like, it's not about what I feel. It's about glorifying God. And sometimes you will feel those things later. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, so to add on to that, after reflecting on that, it was Monday night, right? All right. And I was thinking about those things. And I was like, God, you've taught me that I don't have to feel these things right now. Like, I can feel things later. That's great. I love that. Like, that's great. But then I started to feel really anxious because I was like, what if I'm not passionate enough about worship? Like, I'm a worship leader at church. Like, this is what I love. Like, maybe I'm supposed to be passionate every time. Oh my gosh, whatever. So I was starting to feel really scared. And I started praying with people. I prayed with Scarlett. I prayed with Josephine. And I prayed with a couple other people. And a lot of them just kept telling me, they were like, you're called into worship. Like, this is what you're supposed to do. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, my family doesn't even believe in this. Like, and what if I don't always feel it? And what if I don't always do this? And I was like, I can't do this. And so I just stepped back, and I was just praying with God. And I felt this overwhelming feeling, and like this like kind of voice that just said, like, trust me. It just said, trust me, trust me, trust me. And I was like, why? I was like, but what if I don't want to? And I just feel like God really was telling me, like, your family might not believe, you might not always feel it, but that has nothing to do with you. It has to do with me. You're worshiping. This is what you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I really got a chance to reflect on the fact of what worship really is. And I think that meant a lot for me, having to do with what my future holds. So yeah, that's what I heard.
Hi guys, sorry, I lost my voice, so like bear with me. If y'all don't know me, my name's Brooklyn. Hi guys. So about the second night we were at camp, Saturday, I had to leave worship early because I had a panic attack and I couldn't breathe, and I just like walked out, went and got water, and then I went back inside and I grabbed my grandma. Shout out to my grandma. I don't know if she's in here, but I went out and I got water, and I went to go grab her, and I was like, hey, can you talk to me outside? And so we just talked through it, and I missed like half the message. But when I walked in, I don't know who was preaching that night, but I walked in and they just said anxiety. And like, I was like, whoa, because I walked through the door and they just said anxiety. And I was like, I just went out because of my anxiety. And like, that's the one word they said. And then we were praying that night as a small group, and I got this tingling sensation all through my body. And I thought like, oh, I'm just tired, like my body's like going numb, like I don't know what to do. And then the next day, nothing had happened. And then Monday night, we were all talking, and then Carlos was like, let's all pray. And when we prayed, I felt that tingling sensation again, and I was like, whoa, what is happening? And then like it just hit me that like maybe that's the Holy Spirit in my body. And it just like was like, my grandma told me that, and I just have never experienced God in that way. So it was so like heartwarming to me that my first experience with God was through camp with all of these wonderful people. And like, yeah, I just started crying and bawling my eyes out. And because I didn't know what to do in that moment, I was just like, it's good. It's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. And like, yeah, that's what I had to say. Yeah.
Hi, my name's Aurora. So whenever I was at camp, it was my first time. And in my team, I met amazing people. They spoke to me in so many different ways. And there were 3 very, very kind people that I feel like God brought to me. And their names are Haven, Alec, and Lily. The Lily that Alec is dating. Anyways, on Monday night, shocker, Haven prayed for me in a way that has never happened to me before. And she made me feel so loved and safe and cared for. And I feel like that God spoke through her because I had been having so many issues, because I am a very big overthinker. I'm very anxious, and I had just lost my granny a few weeks ago. So the issues that she prayed for me over just helped a lot. And yeah.
Hi, my name is Jace. So before this camp, I never liked meeting anyone new. I like having old friends. And like when on the way to the camp, like in the car, I was like, I don't want to be here anymore. I just want to go back home. 'Cause I didn't know anyone at the camp. And, I got there, I met Nathan, who was the first person I met. Nathan, yeah. I met Nathan, me and him were just talking, and when we went to dinner, I met other friends like Damien, Santiago, and Marcos. Yeah, we all had a great time at dinner, and then after dinner, we went to service. We all had a great time, and like during service, I never liked raising my hand at all. Like, I was afraid to raise my hand. Like, I would think about others judging me, like when I was raising my hand, like, oh, you're weird. Why were you doing this? And then, like, I closed my eyes, and then during the songs, I just raised my hand as like I felt like God was with me, like he was holding my hand. And then I think it was on Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. Me, Marcos, Nathan, and Santi were like all lined up, holding each other's shoulders, singing the song. And like that was a very powerful moment for me. Like I felt like all my stress, all my anxiety was relieved from like all my past stuff. And there was this one special moment where I cried really, like I was crying hard. It was where we had small group, we were talking about the message and what had it done for us. And then our leader, Dan, who sadly left on Monday. Let's cheer for Dan, man. Dan's a good one. There was one, he was talking to me, he was like, what did the message do for you? I said it set me free from self-guilt from like all my past. I would rethink the moments every night before I go to bed, getting those feelings, like those hateful feelings about myself. And then Dan then gave me a hug, and he was talking about it to me, and that's where I cried really hard, because I never had that much love in my life at all. Well, besides when I was little. But yeah, sorry. But other than that, this camp has been the best. Like, God showed that there is hope and you'll be loved every now and then.
Hi guys, my name is Maggie. So going into camp, the months before camp were probably some of the busiest and most stressful months of my life. And I feel like in those months I kind of pushed a lot of things off that were pulling me, were distancing me from God. I was like, I'll deal with that when I'm not busy. And at camp, I feel like God just, the nights leading up to Monday night, God was just revealing stuff of hey, this is what's holding you back. And on Monday, I got prayed over by Isaiah and Carlos, and they really helped me to just get into a posture of just letting it go and just giving it all to God and taking that weight off my shoulders. And it really helped me get a lot closer with God. And I feel yeah, it was great.
I'm getting comfortable. Give me a second. Okay. I was raised in a Christian home. I'm kidding. Hello, everybody. My name is Tate. Bet you guys didn't know that. Where do I begin? Well, whenever I first was dropped off at camp, I was in this odd state. My heart was just in my stomach because I got hit left and right by all of these things that were happening in my life at the time. And I felt any time that I felt I was valued or that I opened up to somebody to just be myself, that something wrong would happen. And that the friendship would just end, and that value was just fake, and all of the compliments that I would hear, everything about me, I should just not believe any of that. And I know it. Well, one of the first leaders that I met, never met this guy before. His name was Ron. I don't know. Where is he? Ron. If Ron is back there somewhere, can he come up, please? Ron? Ron? No? Aw, man. Aw, dang it. Well, let me just go ahead and illustrate to you how this was happening. So I brought my bag up, and again, I was out of it. I was just not in the mood, and he asked me what my name was, so I told him, and he wrote it down on the piece of paper. And he was like, you look like somebody. I don't know who it is, but I'll get back to you on it. I don't know who it is that you look like, but you look like somebody. And so I was like, yeah, whatever. And then after that, I'm sorry if I was a jerk whenever I showed up to camp. I will say that, but after that first night, I put on all my red stuff, and I was just, all right. Shh. The camp is ripped. I mean, the cape is ripped. I had to throw it away. It tore up. All right, look. Hey. Okay. Anyways. So I was wearing all my stuff, and I was just on the outside, I was twinkling, and there's this one character from My Hero Academia. His name is Yuga Oyama, And his name is, his hero name, this is the reason why I'm bringing this up. His hero name is I Can't Stop Twinkling. I was literally that guy. Anyways, so I was just like walking in there and I felt like I can't stop twinkling. But that same exact character had like so much stuff going on. And that's exactly like how I felt. I felt like on the outside, I was just like shining and I was like bedazzling everybody. But on the inside, like, I was just out of it. And Ron, again, he saw me and he asked me to like stand there and he took a picture of me. And after that, then like we went on, first night happened, and then the next day. And me and Elliot, homeboy Elliot back there, I saw Ron, and I felt this voice telling me, go over and talk to him. So I like went over to him, and oh wait, no, hang on. Before I tell you this part of the story, before that, we were doing Kojabi, and I was holding the flag and I was cheering for my team, and Elliot was there with me. Elliot was with me for like some of the most pivotal moments of camp. Love you, bro. Anyways, I was there and I was like holding the flag and I was cheering, and then Ron just walks up to me and he just looks at my bracelet. And my mom gave me this bracelet before I headed over to my dad's for the summer. And he looked at it and he was like one of the only people to notice this bracelet. And he was like, brave. You know what? You are brave. And he said that even though I was brave and even though I do shine, there's this part of me that isn't brave and that isn't shining. And like whenever he said that, I felt complimented but then insulted at the same exact time. And I was like, there's this part of me that isn't shining. And then instantly, like, I kind of became like, not necessarily obsessed, but just like curious about like, who is this man? Because he just walked up to me, pointed out my bracelet, which nobody else did, and like complimented me and insulted me at the same exact time. And another night, I was worshiping, and like I was just like trying to just shake off all the stuff that was on me. And then he came over to me and he prayed for me. And then afterwards, like I had felt lighter. And then he said, you shine. Like there's something about you, like something has happened to you that's causing you to like shine. And whatever it is, it's weighing you down. But I just want you to know that whatever it is, once it comes off, like you're just gonna be like bright. And after that, this is where the story of me and Elliot walking up to him. We just walked up to him. He was talking to somebody else. And after that, then he had turned to us. And he said, hey, I wanted to show you guys something. And he pulled out his phone and he like went to the pictures that he had taken. And there was this picture of like this person. It was just a silhouette. Elliot remembers this. And he was like, can you tell me who this is? And like the sun was like behind the person, so you couldn't really like see who it was. And Elliot was like, I have no idea who that is. And then I looked at it and I was like, that's me. And he said something like, the light around you was so bright to where nobody was able to tell that it was you except for you. And I was like, that's one way to look at it. And then after that, then he had pointed out that on my right hand, I have this ring. Oh man, my hand is shaking. I had this ring, and my mom also gave me this ring before I left for the summer. And he told me a story about how he went through something with his dad, and he found a ring on like the track that he was running on, and it basically had his dad's birthday on it. And it was just a random ring that he had found, and he wore it on the same exact finger that I'm wearing this ring. And he, huh? Yeah, and it was black too. Yeah, thank you, Elliot. But like, I just, if he was here, like, I would just, I would like give this man so much like credit for the experience that I had at camp, as well as all of my other friends. But and then after that, Monday night, I was never there on Monday night. On Monday night, I remember I finally opened up to Elliot and Ron, and I shared with them about like so many of the things that were happening in my life. And after that, then we had the whole entire like word thing, like write down what God was telling you. And I figured out that the reason why I wasn't brave was because I realized that like as much as value is something that can be felt, value is something that like you give. And like the same exact way that value can be described as like an object or a feeling, like you can value and you can love, like you can believe. Like all of these words that we treat as like feelings and as objects that like we give, they're things that you do. And I realized that I value God, I value all the people around me, but one of the people that I forget to value is myself. And in case you all don't know me, I really love acting, writing, and like just things that go with like books and stories and things like that. And similar to Elliot, I have passions like him. And that night, me and Elliot, we just had like a complete mind meld on like a story that I was working on. And then I was like, this is gonna be epic. And all of these thoughts had like rushed into my head of like, oh no, but you're not ready to make that yet. You don't have the talent. You're not like so-and-so. You're not like so-and-so. And I was like, who cares about that? Who cares about that person? Like, if I always wait until I'm ready, then like my time is gonna run out and nothing's ever gonna happen. So yeah, I just learned at camp that I need to be myself. I need to be brave enough to be myself and to value myself. So anyways, those were my things. Oh yeah.
All right, y'all. Hey, Taylor's going to share her story, and then we're going to close this time in worship. So if you guys could, as soon as she's done, stand with me and come to the front. As soon as she's done. She's done. You don't want to scare her. All right, go ahead.
Hello. Hi. Sorry. Yeah, for everyone that was ready for worship, not yet. I'm sitting down. I can't do this standing. Okay. Hi, y'all. If you haven't met me before, or if tonight was the first time you ever seen me, my name is Taylor. I've been doing this for too long. But camp was really very special. Sorry, nobody's cried yet. I'm gonna break that. I'm gonna cry so much. I always do. Whoever has tissues, be ready. Because this was my 10th and final camp with Gateway. And it feels like, I mean, I've always left camp with something. I've always learned something. But entering this camp, I think I was so focused on it being my last camp that I had, thank you. Okay. Forming sentences. We're good. It was the first time that I was scared to go to camp. It was the first time that I felt homesick before I even got there. I knew that I was gonna have to say bye to a lot of people. Especially people at Buda and South. These are the only things I see, you guys. So coming to this camp, I was only imagining the worst. I wasn't open to learning anything. I was more focused on who I was going to see, who was going to be there. On the first day, there were so many people that I haven't seen in years. That's all I was focused on. I was focused on the people. I was focused on myself. I wasn't prepared for what might happen, what God might do in my life. And then he really just like hit me like a truck, hit me like a monsoon. Shout out, second place, love you guys. And it feels like, so, I've already talked a lot, but I'm gonna still try to keep it short because camp, 1 week, especially the last 2 days, felt like so much happened. It felt like a week. It felt like 2 weeks. It felt like 2 months. I don't know. So much. God showed me so much. He talked to me through so many people. So many little things people said that I just have stuck with me. That it would take me hours to talk about everything that he did in my life this week. But my main takeaway is that he taught me how to sit in everything. He taught me that he showed me how letting go of what I idolize in my life, even if it's just for a little bit, how much that can change how my brain processes things, thinks about things. Because it's so easy to just make a joke or start people watching and then I'm not even upset anymore. I just forget about all the bad things and I'm just focused on other people, other things. So this week, leaving everything back at home, I was challenged to just sit in the silence, take the time to untangle my brain. If you don't know, I have ADHD, if it wasn't obvious. So to really just listen to my own thoughts. He gave me the wisdom and discernment to not focus on thoughts of self-hatred, all the negative thoughts that go through my head, and just know that that's not from him and that's not true. I'm not saying this to say like now I know what is true and what isn't, but I know that if I sit in solitude, I sit in the silence, I can eventually figure out what is true, what is from him. That even in phases of life where I'm full of shame and I'm full of doubt, and I just don't even know how to give that up to God, that I can. That's it. Yes, please stand and worship. I will give you all hugs later. I love you.